Well, we have a couple of other guests to join us this morning to talk a little bit about heart health and heart pumps, which is a fun topic out here at the fair as folks put a little strain sometimes on the old heart health and the heart topics. I'm going to switch right around to here because you got something to talk about. Join us this morning, Dr. Cindy Martin. You're co-director of the Adult Congenital and Cardiovascular Genetics Center and assistant professor of medicine, oh my goodness, at Heart Failure and Transplant. My Lord, have mercy.
I like to have a lot of letters. It makes me feel better.
You do have a lot of letters. And joining you this morning is Christopher Lauer, I'm sorry, Christopher.
Nope.
Good morning to Christopher.
Good morning.
You are starting one of these pumps on you this morning.
It keeps me alive.
That's the important part, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what you guys do and what you're here at the fair doing.
So we're very excited because tomorrow we're going to host our second annual LVAD Day at the fair. And so it really is going to highlight the benefits and the technologies that we now have for advanced heart failure.
And the LVAD is the pump itself, correct?
It is. It's a very small pump that can really improve and restore a lot of quality of life for our patients.
And you're holding the pump right here.
I am.
I do believe Gerg was zooming in on the heart itself, more of the graphic component to this morning's show. But tell us a little about the pump and how this works.
So this pump is actually implanted inside the body, and it actually takes over a lot of the pumping job of the failing heart of patients with heart failure.
And Chris, how long have you had this?
Since October 7th of last year.
Oh, just not even a year yet.
Not even a year.
And obviously quality of life issue, much improved.
Very much improved. I can chase around the 3-year-old twins and my 10-year-old here at the fair. So
Especially good here at the fair.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't mind me asking, what led to this? What circumstances led to you having had to have this put in?
10 years ago, I got cardiomyopathy. I had heart failure due to a virus. And unfortunately, the heart just weakened over time and progressed and got worse to the point where now this step is needed. I'm also on the list for a heart transplant as well.
And this is a good stepping stone to that.
It's a great, yes.
Because number one, you're here.
Yes.
And that is the important thing. And I don't mean just at the fair, I mean here with the rest of us walking around. Doctor, again, one more time for folks, if they want more information or need to find out more, how can they find you and where can they go?
So tomorrow we're going to be at the fair at the University building. We're going to be here from 9 until 3. And then they can always give us a call at the University of Minnesota Physicians Heart at Fairview. And our email number is lvad@umn.edu.
Oh, that makes it very easy to remember.
Yes.
Thank you guys for joining us this morning. Thank you very much, and good luck. And good luck to you too, Christopher.
Yep.
Awesome news.
Well, it is all about the heart today, something a lot of us might neglect while chowing down on that greasy food out there. We want to bring in Dr. Peter Eckman, a cardiologist with the University of Minnesota, in our Health Watch today. Can you show us some of the differences? You actually brought some hearts with you of a healthy heart and an unhealthy heart.
Sure. The heart that I have on the right is an example of a heart that's a normal-sized heart. The heart on the left is someone that may have had heart failure and their heart's enlarged. So just a visual example, and we'll be showing these off at our booth at the fair today.
Healthy, not healthy.
Exactly.
Well, tell us what's going on today, because there's a big event.
So this is what we call LVAD Day at the fair. LVAD is a left ventricular assist device. It's a kind of heart pump used to help people with severe heart disease. And over at the Crossroads building, we'll be showing off this sort of technology and talking about heart health.
And it's cool technology. Chris, do you mind stepping in here? This is one of your patients. He has the device on him right now, correct?
Exactly.
How does it work? I know you have hearts in your hand, but can you show us?
Of course. So a left ventricular assist device is a pump that's implanted in the base of the heart, flows blood from the heart up into the aorta. There's a wire that provides power, and then rechargeable batteries that he's wearing so that he doesn't have to be plugged into the wall.
Very cool technology. Dick Cheney, former vice president, has this as well.
Well, he did before he got his heart transplant, but it's the same type of pump that he had, and it's actually becoming more and more common. We have about 100 patients in our practice that have these pumps, and we're implanting an average of one a week. We anticipate that anywhere from 30 to 40 patients with these pumps will be with us at the fair today.
All right, Dr. Eckman, thank you so much. We want to give you the top 5 heart and vascular health tips. Don't smoke or use tobacco products, an important one there. Minimize the salt intake, so remember that. Maybe mix in some sugar when you're out at the fair. I don't know. Maintain a healthy blood pressure. Stay active to help maintain a healthy weight. Minimize the risk of diabetes, and get your cholesterol checked. Again, Dr. Peter Eckman with the University of Minnesota, cardiologist there, and good luck with your event today.
Thank you.
Thank you both.
Well, thanks to research at the University of Minnesota Fairview, people with heart problems can have a better quality of life. And today at the State Fair, you can learn about the left ventricular assist device, or LVAD. That's a pump that helps heart patients. Joining us to talk more about today's heart health learning opportunity, U of M cardiologist Peter Eckman and LVAD patient Chris Liao. Thank you so much, guys, for being here today.
No problem.
Doctor, you are holding two hearts in your hand here. One of these is a healthy heart. One of these is ones that would be having problems such as heart failure. Kind of explain that a little bit.
Sure. So these are hearts that were graciously donated to our bequest program. This is an example of a typical sized heart from someone that died of a problem other than heart disease. And this is an example of a heart from someone with heart failure. As you can see, it's quite a bit more enlarged.
The heart enlarges, it has to work a lot harder, and that's where we talk about people who need to have transplants, and that's where this new device comes in. You know, I remember back in the day it was Barney Clark. He had a giant suitcase. It was this whole rigmarole, and now this device is, you know, you can hold it in the palm of your hands.
Exactly. There's been a tremendous change in the size of these devices. It used to be that it was the size of, as you said, what Barney Clark had, and there was a refrigerator-sized equipment next to it. Now the currently available pumps are the sort of thing that can fit in the palm of your hand, essentially. So they've miniaturized dramatically, and we expect them to continue to get smaller in the future.
And today at the State Fair, we're going to be an opportunity for folks to meet people like Chris and kind of learn a little bit more about the technology?
Exactly. Although this is something that people heard a lot about after Dick Cheney got an LVAD. It's actually very common. We implant about an average of one a week. We have about 100 patients on support. We've invited them all to join us for the fair. They probably won't all make it because they live across the upper Midwest, but Chris and a number of others will be with us there to help teach people about this amazing device.
So Chris, tell us a little bit about how this device has changed your life.
It's a major improvement and has extended, but today is actually my 325th day of being on an LVAD. We track those things.
Yeah.
But it's been extended life. It's been a blessing. It was to a point where I had heart failure for 10 years and it just kept getting worse and worse, and finally my heart was in the last stages of where it needed to be, and I needed to get on a heart transplant list. These devices, such as an LVAD, are so great that they're being used in people for transplant, and they're also being used for some people who are going to keep an LVAD for just the rest of their life.
Well, I know a lot about this subject in our house. Lost my father to heart failure just a couple of months ago, and I know he felt so drained and so tired all the time, and you're saying, I mean, you just feel re-energized here.
Yeah, it's truly, you're amazed with what happens to your body when it's not getting enough blood flow. It's kind of like if you're not getting oil to the engine of your car, it can seize up or die on your engine can. But with an LVAD, and we're constantly getting the flow, its pressures are all back. I'm able to run around. I have a lovely 10-year-old and twin 3-year-olds that keep me quite busy chasing them around.
I'm so glad to hear that things are working out for you, Chris. Best of luck in your as we try to get you all better again. And Doc, thanks so much for stopping by. And for those of you who are interested, today's LVAD at the fair event runs from 9 to 3 at the U of M building. That's also known as a Crossroads. That's located on the corner of Underwood Street and Dan Patch Avenue. Thanks again, guys. Good luck with your event today. Well, thanks to research at the University of Minnesota Fairview, people with heart problems can have a better quality of life. And today at the Minnesota State Fair, you can learn about the left ventricular assist device, or LVAD. That's a pump that makes weakened hearts strong again. Joining us to explain exactly how it works is Cindy Martin. She's an assistant professor of medicine at the U of M. Cindy, thanks so much for stopping by today.
No problem. It's great to be here.
So, first of all, before we kind of get into this actual device, you've got an event today at the fair. Kind of gives people an opportunity, it kind of demystifies what it is that's going on here.
Exactly, and we call it LVAD Day at the Fair. It's our second annual event. Last year we had 25 patients with LVADs who are actually out at the fair. And what we do is we give the opportunity for the public to see the device and see people with it. Also some education about heart failure. We also have anatomic specimens from the bequest Anatomic Society from the University of Minnesota there, so we can show people what a normal heart is and what an unhealthy heart looks like, and just some tips on, you know, healthy eating and good nutrition and try to maintain your heart health.
So a lot of people, heart failure is a affliction that affects a lot of people, and this device is basically an idea to help kind of keep them going no matter what the next step in their diagnosis might be.
Absolutely. As you said, I mean, there's, you know, hundreds of thousands of patients in the United States that have heart heart failure. And unfortunately, when it comes to end-stage heart failure, their quality of life is really limited. They're very short of breath and can't really do anything, and a lot of times our medications just don't do the trick. And so that's what the LVAD, or the left ventricular assist device, really helps us out with. This pump is actually implanted into the patients and can really takes over the pumping work of the heart, and it allows us to restore that quality of life for the patients.
And then they wear basically a device, kind of goes in a bag that they wrap around their waist, and then they can have this thing on for, you said, almost 10 years?
Right. The pump itself is estimated that the lifespan will be 10 years. The longest implanted right now we have is 8, but we're anticipating that we'll make that time. And if there is problems with the pump, there is an opportunity to actually replace the pump itself for surgery. So this really is a sustainable device for these patients to really give them a great quality of life.
Now, we're almost out of time, but how long has this particular device been being used in patients?
So we've been doing, so from the research studies and stuff, it's been going on a little bit over about 10 years now. We at the university have a patient that's been implanted for 7 years.
So it's pretty incredible, and you know, I mentioned we have firsthand knowledge of this. In my family, lost my father, heart failure just a couple months ago. So I mean, I can tell you folks, if there's anything out there that can help keep everybody around for a while longer, I mean, this is just a really great deal.
Right, and it's not just keeping them around, it's keeping them active and healthy and enjoying that life.
And feeling good.
Exactly.
Because that's so hard for them.
Absolutely.
All right, well, Cindy, thanks so much for stopping by. And if you'd like some more information about this, you can learn more, see one of these devices for yourself. The event at the fair today runs from 9 to 3 o'clock at the University of Minnesota building, also known as the Crossroads. That's located on the corner of Underwood Street and Dan Patch Avenue.
Well, earlier this year, the health of country singer Randy Travis shocked fans. The 54-year-old was suffering from heart failure, but technology is helping him fight his battle. It's a technology used at the University of Minnesota and the focus of an event this week out at the State Fair. Thursday is LVAD Day. That stands for Left Ventricular Assist Device. It's a heart pump. And joining us this morning is Dr. Ranjit, a cardiologist specializing in heart failure, and Chris Liao, an LVAD patient. Good morning to both of you.
Thanks. Good morning.
Thanks for being here. All right, doctor, we're going to start with you. Explain, first of all, what is an LVAD, what it does, and maybe who can benefit from it.
An LVAD stands for a ventricular assist device, and it's one option and rapidly becoming the standard of care for patients with advanced heart failure alongside with heart transplantation. And we have a couple of models of...
Yeah, this is it right here?
Yeah, wow. This is one of the pumps called the Heart
All of that goes inside?
Part of it, and actually Chris has one of these implanted in him. Wow. These are the two currently available pumps, and they all have a cannula that goes inside the heart that drains blood, and there's a pump that pumps blood out through a graft that's hooked up to the ascending aorta. And there's always a cable that comes out from the body that connects these pumps to the battery pack and the controller. And Chris has one of these right here. So Chris has had one of these pumps in for a couple of years now.
And you say this is becoming more common, that people who have heart failure use
Absolutely.
These things.
Several thousand of these are implanted in the United States, and they have surpassed the number of heart transplants and is often becoming the go-to option for patients with advanced heart failure.
All right, wow, that's truly incredible. Technology obviously coming so far, such a long way. Chris, tell me your story and how you ended up with one of these.
About 11 years ago, I caught a virus. Unfortunately, I was on a business trip on a plane, caught a virus. It was like a flu. Instead of leaving my body, it attacked the heart and caused my heart to swell 3 times normal size. When the heart's bigger, it becomes a very weak pump and inefficient. It's the only muscle you should be working on getting bigger.
Right.
But, unfortunately, it was treatable for many years, but it progresses and gets worse. And I got to the point where I needed the next step of treatment, and that was coming to the University of Minnesota.
Wow, what's it like living with that? I mean, you know, to those of us who obviously don't have one, it seems cumbersome and at the very least a huge life changer.
It's kind of like, and I explain it to my children, is I get to be Iron Man, but I don't got the red and gold suit. I have all the mechanics inside, but no cool blasters or anything.
Is it difficult though? I mean, do you have to pay attention to it in any way, or?
I pay attention because obviously I have batteries that I have to keep going, and electricity that has to power this. So on days where there's storms or things like that, I get a little nervous. But I do have batteries. I run on basically 2 laptop-sized batteries for 12 hours at a time, and so I can swap those out at night. I plug into a wall.
Holy cow. Now, I have to ask, Doctor, is this for those who are waiting for heart transplants, or just they can live with these forever?
The intention was as a bridge to heart transplant. You know, patients like Chris, without having a heart, you know, sooner than later are at high risk for dying. So the majority of these pumps are used as a bridge to a heart transplantation, but they can also be used and are increasingly used for patients with advanced heart failure who are not candidates for heart transplantation. We refer to that as destination therapy. They live out for several years with these pumps, and these pumps can go on for you know, over 10 years.
Oh, okay, wow. Well, what are some signs of heart failure that you might can share with some of our viewers?
Some early signs are, you know, the increasingly difficulty walking, the inability to climb a flight of stairs, putting on weight in your ankles and swelling of the feet, bloating of the abdomen, difficulty sleeping at night. And you know, being treated for a pneumonia and not getting better, some of early warning signs of heart failure.
All right, so obviously if you have any of those signs, you want to check with your doctor.
Absolutely.
Now there's an event on Thursday out at the fair. Tell us about that.
We've had that for the last 3 years, and this is the third year we're having it on Thursday the 29th. And we have you know, models of normal hearts, diseased hearts. We have health professionals explaining how you know, the pathogenesis of heart failure. We have models of these pumps. And most importantly, we have patients like Chris who have, you know, spending the day helping us educate the public about heart failure and these options that we have that are saving thousands of lives.
Well, it's a good education to get anywhere, certainly out at the fair when you're walking down the fairway there with your big old fried something on a stick or your bowl of fried something. Check in, make sure your heart's okay, and listen to the warning signs. Dr. John and Chris, thanks for being with us today. We appreciate it.
Well, while at the food at the State Fair is sinfully good, as we're talking about that beer, your heart is probably not going to like some of it. Joining us this morning with more is Dr. Kenneth Liao, and cardiosurgeon there at Fairview, and Christopher Lauer, a patient who's experienced some heart trouble before. So this is when everybody goes out there and we all talk about, oh, well, just take a couple weeks off of the diet, go have a little bit of fun, eat all that fried food. But especially if you don't exercise, it's going to come back to get you.
Yeah, it is indeed a very important healthcare concern issue for the diet, health lifestyle, and that would eventually impact the patient's heart condition or longevity. A typical example is our patient Chris, and who has the end-stage heart disease a while ago, and then had to go through very dramatic surgery treatment to support his heart when he reached the stage of end-stage heart failure.
So, Chris, what were your symptoms? What did you have?
11 years ago, it started. I caught a virus on a business trip, unfortunately, and that led to a disease that caused my heart to swell 3 times the size it normally should. That was treatable over many years with medicines, things like that. Unfortunately, in 2011, caught another virus, my heart got worse, and all of a sudden I was out of breath. I couldn't climb a flight of stairs, was retaining massive amounts of water weight in my legs and ankles that were swollen up. At nighttime, I almost felt like I was drowning a little bit, so I would wake up in a panic. I'm like, something's definitely getting worse here. So at that point, it was time to go to the next level and become listed for a heart transplant, but my heart was already weak enough that it needed this actual mechanical pump device that the University of Minnesota was able to implant and attach to go around the damaged area of my heart and put it inside my body, and it's able to move the blood through. And these are, you know, I remember watching the first man with an artificial heart. I had a big washing machine and couldn't go anywhere. Well, this is a little portable robot now, and I'm able to go about my daily business and chase after our 4-year-olds again.
All right, well, we just have a couple more seconds here left. I just want to point out, and I might be wrong, is this the same kind of thing we saw Vice President Dick Cheney with a battery-powered heart, essentially?
This is the one that brought the model here. This is exactly that the small pump that one end connects to his heart, the other end goes to his aorta, and then battery comes out from here. And he's carrying the battery here with him. There. He's very mobile, and he can live a very active life, and chasing his daughters.
Okay. All right. Thank you guys for coming in. Yes, through the State Fair. We'll be talking again with you in our 8 o'clock hour. And we have all this information of this event that's coming up next Thursday, which you can find out about on our websites at kstp.com. Just click on the news link section. Okay, well, while at the food at the State Fair, we've been talking about that. We're talking about your heart health and how you can be healthy and then eat some of this bad stuff. That's not good for you. Other things can lead to heart disease as well, including stress. And with us this morning, Dr. Sirtaz Adatya and Christopher Liao, who's with us, and we're talking about your heart and some of the, well, great things that have been done by doctors to keep it going for some time. Now, you had a virus, and that's kind of what sent you to the doctor in the first place.
The virus caused my heart to swell up 3 times the normal size, and that's the one muscle it's not supposed to get big in your body. When the heart becomes big, it's an inefficient pumping device, sadly. And then because the body's not getting the blood flow, things would happen like I was retaining edema, water weight, my ankles and legs swelled up. I would be short of breath. I couldn't chase after our 3-year-olds at the park. I couldn't go up a flight of stairs. It was issues like that that said, you know, this is something worse than just a flu or something else. I need to go get it checked.
Now, right now, you're wearing this vest with a pump inside your chest that is keeping everything moving.
Yep. It's literally, I'm kind of a bionic man these days, you know, Iron Man without the suit, I guess. But it's a machine, little turbine pump right there.
This is what he has. It's a pump that sits in the chest, directly connected to the heart in one of the big vessels. And this is what replaces the pumping action of the heart.
Now, you're on the list for a heart transplant, and doctor, this will keep him going, as you said, until you get to that point, hopefully.
Yes, absolutely. That's our goal. This is what has kind of kept him alive. Without this, he wouldn't be with us today.
And I know next Thursday you guys are going to be out at the fair and other places talking about the left ventricular assist device day. Is that what this is called?
That's what this is. The goal of the day is to increase awareness about heart disease. Heart disease is the #1 killer in the U.S., and we're paying particular attention to heart failure.
All right, and Christopher, we wish you the best of luck, and we know that this is now been made kind of famous by former Vice President Dick Cheney, and we also talked about Randy Travis having some heart trouble as well. Went into the doctor and said, your heart's just not working the way it's supposed to.
Yes.
All right.
And that's why it's key to be aware about heart disease without diagnosing early and getting the appropriate treatment early. Heart failure carries a mortality that can approach some of the most aggressive cancers. And that's why this day is so important. It's this Thursday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the fair.
All right, information is there on the screen. Doctor, thank you for coming in. Christopher, we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.